Okay, so for my red black belt and my black belt, I'm gonna have you guys grab some nunchucks. Hopefully you guys have your nunchucks still. The nunchuck form is a form that we had you guys do in the past, but it wasn't really a form that we had you test on, past going from red to red black. It is a form that we're gonna be making mandatory now as you go up to your next rank. So this is a form I wanna practice with you guys real quick, make sure you guys know it and are confident with it. Hopefully you remember it, but if not, this will be a good refresher for you guys. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so we're gonna be working on the nunchaku forms. Hopefully you guys have a pair of those. If you don't have a pair, maybe you can ask your parents to order you a pair so you can start practicing. Or, you know what, to be honest with you, the other day I was messing around in the kitchen. I had a dish towel, and I could use that dish towel pretty well as for a pair of nunchucks. So if that's all you got, that's all you got, and make do with that, okay? So for my brown one belt, you only have to know the first half of the form, okay? If you want to learn the rest, follow along. Red belts, we're gonna be going through the entire thing today. So I wanna do a quick warm up first with our nunchucks. This is always a great drill to get warmed up with and practice. We're just gonna do forwards rotations. Now, when you're doing this, you wanna keep the nunchuck really still, the wrist really still. You don't wanna be doing this. Okay, look how it's, my wrist is barely moving. And we're gonna do kind of a short warm up. I don't wanna spend too much time on this. But whenever you practice, it's good. Maybe you do this for about a minute in each direction. So right now we're going forwards. Let's switch and go backwards. And this just really builds the coordination in your wrist, and it'll make all your moves a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. Okay? So again, I like to do this until my forearm starts to burn a little bit. So usually you go about a minute each direction. But for right now, let's go ahead and switch. Let's do the other hand. Again, we're going to go forwards. And again, notice, small circles, especially with your non-dominant hands. These can be a little tougher, which is why you should really do them. Okay, let's switch directions. Okay, guys, good work. So whenever you're practicing your nunchucks at home, start off with a simple drill like that. You'll see a big difference in your moves, okay? So let's get started here. So we're gonna start at attention like this. Now the first move we go to is ready position, okay? Then number one, we go knuckle to knuckle, step into a horse stance, upper block, okay? Next, down block. Then we're gonna take the right hand, turn this inward as we go into our outside block. Try it again. Ready position and other side, outside block. Okay, let's try that again. So from attention, we go ready position. Number one, step out, horse stance. Number two, down block. Next is turn that inward. You gotta bring that nunchaku up inside to the outside block. And then you return to ready, other side, outside block. Let me give you a side view, let's do it again. Okay, hopefully you're following along with me, guys. Okay, so again, ready position, number one, upper block, two, down block, three, outside, four, outside. So, for those of you guys that know the form, we're gonna be working on getting through this a little quicker. So if you're having trouble keeping up with my speed, rewind that section, practice that section a little more. For those of you guys that do know it pretty well, like I said, I'm gonna push your speed today. This is a form that as you get higher in the belt, we expect you to be a little quicker with it. Okay, let me do it again from the side view. So we go ready, number one, down block, outside, outside. Now, next section, I'm gonna take control with my right hand. I'm gonna go right hip, left hip, okay? Then I'm gonna circle back and catch. Let's watch that again. Right, left, circle, catch. One more time. Right hip cradle, left hip cradle, circle back and catch. So let's put that together. Okay, we'll start from ready position. Okay, so we go horse stance, upper block, down block, outside, outside, hip, circle, catch. Now from here, I'm gonna take control with my left hand and I'm gonna do a shoulder catch on this side, okay? Now, we do what's called the reverse figure eight. A traditional or regular figure eight would be striking on top, like this. So a reverse figure eight we're doing from here, we're striking underneath like this, okay? So you do about 3 to 4 rotations, okay? And a rotation is right, left, okay? So you go about 3 to 4 times. 1, 2, 3, And on that final upward swing, you bring it to a hip cradle, bring it around back, and catch back here. Okay? So let me show you guys from this a back view here so you can see everything. Again, we'll start from ready position. So horse stance, up block, down block, outside, outside, hip, hip, circle, catch, switch, reverse, figure 8, hip cradle, come around back and catch. Look how I'm grabbing. Then I'm going to take control with my left hand, back catch, or excuse me, hip cradle, back catch. Okay? So watch that again. I'm going to go with the right hand. So catch, hip cradle, catch. Okay? So let's do this again. From the beginning, we'll just go through up to that point. And again, we're going to add some speed to it. Okay, so start ready position. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now once you get to here, control should be back to your right hand. Okay, that means I'm gonna take the right hand and bring this nunchuck up around. And you can see how the nunchuck, kind of pops up here on my shoulder. What I wanna do is I wanna catch that. So now control is in my left hand. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a hip cradle, come back around and catch that. Okay? Okay, so let's start this form from the beginning again. I'm gonna give you guys a side view for this, so we start at attention. Ready position? Horse stance, down block, outside, outside. Catch. Remember, hip cradle, catch. Now from here, we're going to take that nunchuck. We're going to have the control in our right hand. We're going to go right hip, left hip. Okay, again, right, left, back to the right shoulder, back of the right knee into a shoulder catch. Let's try that again. Okay, we're gonna go hip, hip, back of the right arm, back of the right knee, catch. Now from here, you're gonna do a shoulder catch on the left side, but you're actually gonna maintain control on the left hand, so don't switch the control. I'm gonna catch, but that control stays in my left hand. So with my left hand, I'm gonna go hip, hip, arm, leg, catch. Okay, so let me do this facing forwards here. We'll start from those neck catches. Okay, so we're gonna go neck catch, hip cradle, neck catch. Now I'm gonna go right hip, right shoulder, right knee, catch. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch. And again, remember to maintain control on that left hand. Right hip, left shoulder, left knee, catch. Now the next part is the probably most difficult part. This is your wrist rolls. If you go to on our YouTube channel, look at the red belt video, I have a really detailed breakdown of how to do those wrist rolls. I recommend watching that. It's towards the end of the video. So again, if you're having trouble with this, go watch that and it'll help you guys out. But we're gonna go hip, hip. So I go right hip, left hip, and then I'm gonna do that wrist roll catch. And as I'm catching, I'm doing a hip cradle, which means I'm gonna bounce and then wrist roll to the other direction. And again, as I do the wrist roll to the other direction, I'm bouncing that, okay, hip cradle, and then into my shoulder catch there. So let's try that again. Okay, we're gonna start from the last section here, so we were on the left side. Okay, so we're gonna go hip, hip, arm, leg, catch. Now from here, hip, hip, wrist roll, hip cradle, wrist roll, hip, hip, catch. Okay, and then from there you unwind to ready position, come to attention, and back. Okay, let's go through this again, and we're gonna go through it a little quick here. I'm gonna do it from a back view so you can see some of the stuff I'm doing behind my back here. Okay, so we go to ready position, horse stance. Okay guys, so that's your nunchuck form. Like I said, if you need to have a little bit more detail, go to the red belt video. I have a lot of nunchuck drills for you to do, and I probably do an even more thorough job of breaking that form down than I did today. That video will help you guys out. If you know, my brown one belt, you only need to do the first half, but again, if you guys want to learn more, go ahead and do that. Okay guys, thanks for joining today. I want you to actually practice that form a few more minutes on your own, about 5 more minutes by yourself, and that'll be the end of your training for today. Okay, get going.
All right, let's work on our Chung move. We're gonna go through it slow, follow along. Now, I might be adjusting. You guys might have to adjust at home. Just make sure you're doing the stances correctly with the space you got. We start, ready position. Move 1, back stance, twin spear hand block. 2, front stance, guard chop. 3, back stance, knife hand middle. 4, front stance, spear hand thrust. 5, back stance, knife hand middle block. 6, crane stance, side kick back fist. I land back in that back stance, knife hand middle. Now 7, I'm gonna do a 2-step flying side kick. Kick, land, back stance, knife hand middle. Let's do that first section again, sideways. So I'm ready position. 1, back stance, twin spear hand block. 2, front stance, guarding chop. 3, back stance, knife hand middle. 4, front stance, spear hand thrust. 5, back stance, knife hand middle. 6, crane stance, side kick back fist. Back into that back stance, knife hand middle. 7, 2-step flying side kick. Back stance, knife hand middle walk. Let's go through that again. Ready? Twin spear, back stance. Front stance, guard chop. Back stance, knife hand middle. Front stance, spear hand thrust. Back stance, knife hand middle. Crane stance, side kick back fist. Land back stance, knife hand middle. 2-step kick, flying side kick. Back stance, knife hand middle. Okay, let's go through that again. Sideways one more time. Twin spear, front stance, guard chop. Back stance, knife middle. Front stance, spear hand thrust. Back stance, knife hand middle. Crane stance, side kick back fist. Back stance, knife hand middle. 2-step kick, flying side kick. Back stance, knife hand middle. Okay, so we're gonna go through now, starting at that back stance, knife hand middle, starting from move 7, going on to the next part. So here, I'm in my back stance. Move 8, left leg steps behind, back stance, down walk. 9, I'm gonna shift into front stance, twin spear hand thrust. 10, I grab, head smash on my knee, pivot, guarding ridge hand. Arms coming across into that. 11, rear leg roundhouse, turn look, spin back kick, traditional fighting stance. 12, plant, traditional roundhouse, land, set position. Let's go through that again. Let's do it from the side. So again, I'm starting at move 7. That's a 2-step flying side kick, knife hand middle. This is where I'm starting. 8, left leg, back stance, down walk. 9, shift, front stance, twin spear hand thrust. 10, grab, head smash, pivot, guarding ridge. 11, roundhouse, spin back, traditional fighting stance. 12, traditional roundhouse, land, set position. Let's do it again, forwards. Starting from back stance, knife hand middle. Next, back stance, down block, shift front stance, twin spear, knee smash, pivot, guarding ridge, rear leg round, spin back, traditional fighting stance, traditional roundhouse, set position. The next part of the form, we're going to start from that set position. Move 13, back stance, bow cap. Somebody's attacking me from the top. I'm blocking, I'm grabbing their staff. My left thumb is facing forwards, my right thumb is facing backwards here. Now I'm going to grab their staff, jump, 360, back stance, knife hand middle. Next move, I step forwards into a front stance, reverse, guarding spear hand thrust. I'm coming down and across with it. Next, I make 2 fists, shift into a back stance, high, low bulk. Next, I'm going to step forwards, front stance, guarding spear hand thrust. Let's do that again. Let's do it from the side. So I'm here at my set position, back stance, bow catch, 360, knife hand middle, reverse, guarding spear hand thrust. Remember, I make 2 fists, shift back stance, high, low, step forwards, front stance, guarding spear hand thrust. So that one more time from one more angle. I'm here at set position, back stance, bow catch, 360, back stance, knife hand middle, front stance, guarding, reverse spear hand thrust, shift back stance, twin bow, high-low block, front stance, guarding spear hand thrust. All right, let's go through the last part of Chung Moo. So we're starting front stance, guarding spear hand thrust. My right leg in front. I'm going to step around front stance, double outside block. Step into a back stance, inside temple smash, back fist. Look over my left shoulder, rear leg side kick, rear leg side kick, land in a back stance, X block. My feet are in a back stance. I'm turning my shoulders forward a little bit for this X block. From here, I step forwards, front stance, double arm break, and last move, I'm going to cross, front stance, upper block, punch. Let's do that again from the side. So I've started, front stance, guarding spear hand thrust. I step around, front stance, double outside block. Step into back stance, inside temple smash, back fist, look, rear leg side, rear leg side. Remember, my feet are in back stance, but for my X block, my shoulders are forward a little. Step forwards, front stance, double arm break. And last move, cross shift, upper block, punch. Let's do that one more time. Front stance, guarding spear is where I'm starting. Step, front stance, double outside block. back stance, inside temple smash, back fist, look, rear leg side kick, rear leg side kick, back stance, X block. Step front stance, double arm break, cross, shift, front stance, upper block,